I'm Stephanie Quayle, I'm 35 years old, and I'm a country recording artist in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been recording music since I was 16 years old. I got up on stage, and that's where I fell in love with performing and entertaining and writing songs.
Okay, my bride sent me this email with every kind of dress and design.
And when is the wedding again?
It's 13 days.
So here's the situation.
Is it even a wedding if there is not a little or a lot of drama involved in it? Regardless of whether you are a celebrity or not, family feuds during the planning stages or the actual day is part and parcel of every wedding. One of the biggest issues crops up when finalizing a guest list, and a determined woman is making the news these days for causing quite the stir in leaving out her siblings from the list because of a lack of seating. The woman took to Reddit to explain why she had to be quite stern with her decision, and most people commenting on her post are agreeing with her wholeheartedly. Apparently, her family lives a distance away from where she and her husband are getting married at, and although her invitation required guests to RSVP on or before a certain date, she claims she hadn't heard back from some of them either way. I, 25F, am getting married to my future husband, 28M, in a month. We are able to host only a maximum of 70 people at our venue. We sent out invites a few months ahead of time, as the entirety of my family has to drive 3 hours to where we currently live and are getting married. 2 days before the RSVPs are due, I decided to text the last few stragglers who haven't responded yet, the woman wrote in her post. However, the cropped up when the bride's biological father had the audacity to inform her at the 11th hour that he would also be bringing his 5 children along for the ceremony. When my biological father, 48 million, responded that he would be there with his fiancée, 33 million, and their 5 children, ages like 15 to 3, I was a bit taken aback because I specifically addressed the invitation to only Mr. Biological Father's name and Ms. Fiancée's name, rather than Mr. Biological Father's name and family. Background is important here because I do not have a close relationship with my biological father. I've met my step-siblings a handful of times and my half-siblings only twice. I also did not invite my mom's current husband's children. All 6 are adults, I'm not close with them, she added onto her post for clarification. However, the biological father was upset about his children not being invited and proceeded to try and cause trouble for the poor bride. My biological father absolutely lost his ST about how he can't bring his kids and how crushed the kids will be for not seeing their sister get married. The bride, though, held her ground and did not back down. She added that she had told him multiple times that she had very limited seating and can only feed a limited amount of people. The disgruntled father's response was to throw in a proposal of his own, where he would bring his entire family down for the ceremony only, and leave without attending the reception thereafter. What ticked off the bride the most, though, was his attitude when he threw it in her face that this would allow her to save her money, and that he was doing it to protect his kids. She added on her post that she asked thereafter, "Do you forget that I'm your firstborn child too?" and ended the conversation with telling him that he and his fiancée can attend without the kids or not to come at all, she concluded. Anyone and pretty much everyone commenting on the post sided with her decision and even went so far as to call out the biological father for his actions. "We didn't invite certain family because we knew they would show up with kids in tow even though they weren't included in the invite," one person said. "He's just trying to set himself up to be the victim," another person added. "I suspect they won't be at all crushed having almost no relationship with you. Someone like this was probably just coming for a free meal for them anyway. You're probably doing them a favor," wrote someone else. While this was a pretty common problem for many couples, quite a few celebrities have also had crazy and hilarious wedding mishaps. Blake Lively, for instance, burnt her own dress with a sparkler at her reception, and Hilary Duff broke her tooth a few hours before her ceremony. Princess Diana said Charles's name wrong during their vows, but it wasn't as bad as when Jessica Simpson said her own name instead of her husband's during their vows. But here's a little tip for all couples hoping to tie the knot soon. Your guest list is about you. It needs to include people who have genuinely been there for you individually and as a couple, and people who will continue to be there in your lives once you have gotten married. Even if they are the closest family, if they are not going to add value to your lives in the future, just leave them out and don't be sorry for it.